right now I'm going to go show you how you're going to program one of the FISP uploaders. What you'll want to do is first you want to go to the Stairmaster website and grab the FISP software. For our example right here, we're going to use the TC5 display software. And so you want to go to stairmaster.com, and we're going to go down here, click on commercial. Once we get this page loaded up, if you'll see right here, it says customer resources. Go ahead and click on the customer resources. Then we're going to go over here and choose product support, and then go to Tread Climber 5. If you scroll down to the bottom here, you're going to see it says Tread Climber software download display, primary and secondary. And there's two versions of software for this particular display. If you have two FISP uploaders, it makes the job really easy. If you don't have two FISP uploaders, then you're probably you're gonna have to have a laptop with you to reprogram them to do the primary and the secondary. I really strongly recommend having two. It'll make the job go by a lot faster. So I'm gonna click on that, and what that's gonna do is it's going to download the zip file that the software is in. Okay, so now I got my zip file. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open the zip file. You can't, zip file it's not the program you need. You have to unzip it. If you're not familiar with zipping and unzipping, you might want to get somebody that is. So now I've opened my zip file, and let me bring that in here, and you can see inside here, this is for the TC5 display. It's the folder, so I'm going to double click on that and open that up. You're going to notice that on this particular one, there's a set A language and a set B language. If you open up this little README, you're going to see that it explains kind of what this software is. When installing software into your Tread Climber, there are two language sets to choose from. And if you look down here, you see set A contains English, Spanish, French, German, Portuguese. Set B contains English. You'll notice they both contain English, Dutch, Swedish, Italian, and katakana, which is Japanese. So depending on what product you're going to install it, what language you need, you want to make sure you determine which set it is that you want. So right now I'm still working in the folder for the zip file. I need to actually extract all these files. So I'm going to click on this, and I like to extract them onto my desktop. And the reason is just a lot easier to find stuff later. I got the SMTC5 folder right here. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say, okay, go ahead and extract it. And it's going to extract those into that folder. Now I'm looking inside the SMTC5 folder. You could see SMTC5 display. This is the folder that was extracted. Open this up. You can see it looks exactly the way it did in the other one. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose set A. Like I said, look at that README file if you're not sure which one that you need. If you're doing English, it doesn't matter. It's set A or set B. Any other languages, you're going to need to decide. From inside here, you're going to see there's 4 files. These ones that are labeled .4dx, these are what we call program files, and actually these make it very easy to do the programming. The next 2 files here, this primary, this is the actual software that we're going to be pushing into the uploader. Here's the secondary. For this example, I'm only going to do one, but you'll kind of get the gist of it once you see it. So to boot up the FISP program, I'm going to choose this top one right here. It says FISP TC MCU1, which is the primary. I'm going to double click on this. Now that I've got this I double clicked on this, it'll open up my FISP programmer. Now I do not have the FISP plugged in yet, and actually here's a little picture of what the FISP looks like. You could see the cable, typical USB cable, and then the gray box. And you may have one that's blue. Mine's just a little bit older, so it's a gray one. So right now what I'm going to go ahead and do is plug the FISP uploader into my PC. Get the little noise acknowledging that it's been plugged in. Now right now you can't see it on my screen here, but it says installing device drivers because I just installed this software, and so my PC's got to configure everything for this USB device. Depending on your system, to get the drivers on and set up, it may take some time. I'm going to go ahead and bump the video forward to save us some time. Okay, now I just got the FISP USB programmer is ready to use. So it just loaded up the drivers. Like I said, this is the first time that I plugged in a FISP since I put the software on my PC. Down here in this corner, you can see where it says FISP USB version 7.7. And this one actually shows that yes, it's already plugged in, which is great. Now, before you go any further, one of the key things that you always want to do is you're going to check this version of software against the version of software that that programmer actually has on it. I go up here to help, about, and then you could see here for this USB, this one is actually 7.7. Down here it's 7.7. The reason you want to check this is because, let's say you have another PC that you usually do your programming with, and then you loan your uploader to maybe somebody else, and they program it with the latest version of software, or the latest version of FISP. So what happens is it'll actually update the little gray box to match that firmware to the latest version. If you take your uploader and you go back to your older FISP software on a different PC and you try to upload, it's going to look like it uploaded, but because these two softwares don't match, you're going to run into problems. Like I said, it'll look like it uploads into the little gray box. You're going to get out to the site. You're going to try to program the display, and it's not going to work. You're going to get errors and things like that. So you always want to just check and make sure that these are of the matching here. Very important piece. Now, because I used a project file, what happens is when it opens up the FISP programmer, it already loads up the device type for us, so we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. If we didn't have this project file, then we would have to go through each one of these, click which one we want, and it just makes it a little bit harder, because if you don't get these settings right, then you can make the display inoperable. Anytime you have a program file, you want to use it. So the device is set up correctly here. The device options are already set up, and like I said, using the 4DX file, that project file, it'll do all this for you. Makes it a lot easier. Now the next step is where a lot of people get tripped up on, is if you look here and it says flash file name, this happens to be the location of whoever set up this little program or project file. This happened to be the location they kept their software. It's not where we have our software. So you want to click inside here, and it's going to bring up one of those little windows. And just make sure I'm on the right spot here. I'm going to go back to my desktop, TC5, just to make sure it's right. It was. And I'm going to choose set A, and I'm going to choose primary. The one thing you want to remember is that I use the MCU1, which is the primary setup for the project file. So right now I'm going to choose the primary software, and I'm going to hit open. So now everything is pretty much set up, ready to go. I'm going to come down here to this FISP button, and I'm going to hit it. And you can see it's going to start loading my FISP programmer. Now it's done. It's 100%. You can see if you look down here, it says completed. So I can go ahead and close that. I can go ahead and close my FISP program. And we've successfully programmed the little gray box or blue box to be able to upload new software into a TC5. If you want to learn how to actually do the physical uploading into the display, check out one of our other videos.